Hello, everyone. My name is Des. Let's talk drag. Historically, drag artists have partaken in civil rights movements and have been vocal advocates for social justice. Drag is, after all, a queer art form, and many drag artists are people of color in addition to being part of the LGBTQ plus community. While many artists and scholars acknowledge the political potential of drag, little is said about Latina drag artists in this context. In fact, only one scholar, Lawrence of Fountain Stokes, has focused on Puerto Rican performers specifically. However, he mostly focuses on performance, whereas my work focuses on the drag artist and their performance in relation to their audiences, and by doing so, highlighting their social impact and potential to take part in activism. I argue that Puerto Rican drag queens on RuPaul's Drag Race empower members of Latina communities and engage in activism by incorporating their cultural identity into their drag and capitalizing on their drag queen status. One of the ways Puerto Rican queens incorporate their cultural identity into their drag, on Drag Race, and in general, is by using cultural symbols. By using cultural symbols, they promote feelings of pride and in turn empower Puerto Rican audiences. In Drag Race, Puerto Rican queen Alexis Mateo does this on several occasions. She makes her season 5 All Stars entrance wearing a stoned bodysuit comprised of the Puerto Rican flag. For many Puerto Ricans, the Puerto Rican flag doesn't just represent the country, it also represents Puerto Ricanness. And on her Instagram post featuring this look, the comments are full of love from Puerto Rican viewers. Some of them saying that they felt pride when they saw her, and others saying that she was lifting Puerto Rico's name on high by doing so. Alexis Mateo has had a similar impact on viewers from different Latina communities when she does a drag impersonation of Walter Mercado on a later episode. Walter Mercado is a pop culture icon known by Latinas all around the world. Her Instagram post featuring this look is likewise full of love from Latinas of all different communities and countries that felt pride to see their culture represented. That being said, I am aware of the limitations of RuPaul's Drag Race, as it is a reality television competition and is often fabricated, as well as there are restrictions to the type of progressive or inclusive politics that can take place in the show. However, the queens who appear on Drag Race stand to gain public recognition from appearing on the show due to its immense popularity. And they can capitalize on that celebrity to engage with activism outside of the show. That's better illustrated by a different Puerto Rican queen, Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Before she was on Drag Race, she did not have much of a following based on the amount of engagement that you see on her social media posts, specifically Instagram. However, after she appeared on it, her engagement spiked, and now you can see that she has over 250,000 followers on Instagram. She uses this platform to engage in activism and political causes that benefit both the LGBTQ plus and Latina community. For example, she's worked with Drag Out the Vote, an organization that seeks to mobilize voters, and this way she can reach thousands of people by using her platform, which she might have not had without being on Drag Race. And she uses her identity and ability to speak Spanish to connect with Spanish speaking and English speaking Latinas alike. In addition, she's done social outreach work such as HIV prevention and education, as well as fundraising for Puerto Rico. Whether it's empowering members of the Latina community by incorporating their cultural identity in their drag, or capitalizing on their drag queen status to reach bigger audiences and speak out on issues faced by the LGBTQ plus people of color. These are both valuable strategies for Puerto Rican drag queens to employ when it comes to advocating and supporting their communities. Each has their own pros and cons, and they're both useful in different settings and contexts. While I've used Drag Race due to how accessible it is as a source material, future research should look at a different source without reality television's limitations. Lastly, the work of Puerto Rican drag kings and drag kings in general should be explored in the context of drag and activism, as these are very underrepresented both in drag and in academia, and their artistry and political involvement is just as important and as necessary as that of drag queens.